Welcome to Pots, Pans, and Pioneers. Today I'm going to be doing a southern fried donut. So there's two ways you can make this recipe. I get my donut recipe from the nuts.com, and it's actually the donut mix that they sell on their website. And I'm pretty confident it's half bread flour, half all-purpose flour. So if you don't have this, one package is 4 cups if you buy it online. So you could do 2 cups of all-purpose and 2 cups of bread flour to make this recipe with no problems. I sprinkled a little nutmeg in mine, but you don't even have to do that. You can do cinnamon. Most people put nutmeg in their donuts, so do I. Okay. The next thing you want to do is use 3 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to, this is cold, and I'm going to chop it up in little tiny pieces. So I'm just going to, you could also shred this. If you're good at shredding butter, you could absolutely do that. I'm not going to shred it. And this is just real salted butter. Whether it's coming off of your homestead or from the store, it's just plain old sweet butter. I try to cut the pieces kind of tiny. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a pinch of salt. And I'm just using kosher salt. You could use iodine salt if you want. And then I'm going to add 1/4 cup of sugar. I'm using organic pure cane sugar. And we're wanting to warm up a cup of milk, or 250 milliliters. That was what was on the recipe of my grandmother's, but I know it's a cup of milk. So 250 milliliters is a cup. And I just warmed it in the microwave for about 1 minute, 15 seconds. Depending on your microwave, check it. And then I've measured the temperature, and I've got the yeast blooming in the milk, in the warm milk. So it looks like it needs a little bit more time. I'll come back in just a minute and we'll get mixing it together. I'm going to go ahead and get my flour, sugar, butter mixture going and get it mixing together. And I'm just going to put it on low. And you're just mixing the flour and the butter together. I'm going to go ahead and add 1 egg. And then the second egg. And I'm going to gradually pour in my yeast and the warm milk. And then I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla, a teaspoon maybe. And I'm just going to let that all incorporate together. Blended this for about 5 minutes. I'm going to shut it off. I'm going to clean off my beaters with a spatula. And this is a sticky dough, okay? It's going to resemble cake batter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape down the sides. Get it all in the middle. And I'm going to let this rise. I'm going to cover it with some plastic wrap. And I'm going to set it in an empty oven because you want it in a draft-free area. And I'm going to turn the light on just so there's a little bit of warmth. I'm going to let this rise for 2 hours. And we'll be back. Okay, our dough has risen. It's doubled or tripled. And I'm going to, I floured a wood board here. I'm going to bring it out and start kneading. Make sure and flour your hands so this doesn't stick, because it is a sticky dough. Kneading it, it becomes less sticky, but you need to incorporate at least another half a cup of flour. I'm going to let this rest for about probably 30 to 40 minutes, and it's going to rise again. I'm going to put a piece of wax paper on top of it. Just so it doesn't dry out. Okay, we're going to roll out the donuts. I'm going to keep some flour here because your hands are going to get pretty messy. The dough has already risen a little bit more, and I'm not going to knead this per se. I'm just going to punch it down because I want the air to not completely collapse for the donut. And I'm going to probably have this at a 1/2 inch thick for me to start punching it out. I have a commercial donut cutter with the hole, and I'll probably fry up some of these first and just cut them like that. I'll do a little bit of them. Now you can roll these in granulated sugar, you can roll these in powdered sugar. Just always be sure you do it while they're warm, because if you don't, it won't stick. And you want your your icing and stuff like that to stick. You can just do a regular glaze of powdered sugar. Let's just call it 2 cups of powdered sugar to 2 tablespoons of milk and a little bit of vanilla, and you can roll them in that. That will work really well as well too. I always start with a donut hole to see if the grease is ready to go. So I'm going to turn the camera off of the cutting of the donuts, and I'm going to turn it towards the fryer. See if our light is good enough. I don't know. See if we can get inside that fryer. And we will start with a few of the donut holes and see what happens. This should be up to temperature. I need to get a plate with some paper towels on it because you're going to want to drain your donuts. So I'm going to use just a cookie sheet with some paper towels on it. And we're going to use a slotted spoon just to be sure that, you know, we don't get the oils on them. And I'm probably going to turn this up a little bit to about 360. In that range. Because I want these to get really brown. See how they're puffing up really? The little balls. That's what you want right there. It's cold outside and Bill's been working outside all day, so I'm gonna surprise him with some donuts. Okay, we've got another one in the fryer. They're delicious. I've mixed up some powdered sugar, dipped the little donut hole. Oh, Bill's gonna be so excited. He loves homemade donuts. I hope you'll try this recipe. And I know the dough is really wet, but this is really light and fluffy Southern fried donuts. You won't regret it. They're absolutely delicious. I made you some donuts.
I know, I see.
Are you excited?
Yes.
You can try the little donut holes first.
Okay.
Well, how'd I do? They're good.
Yeah, what are you gonna eat?
These are my Southern fried donuts.
I'll let you have that one.
No. So, what do you have to say to Joe? Walmart donuts or these?
These are better.
We could have dipped them in chocolate, but...
Yeah, you know, drizzled them a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, or maple.
Maple would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Maple. But now I have to take a longer walk.